This video is brought to you by sellcashier.com. Sellcashier compares iPhone prices on the internet and gives you a quick quote to get you the most cash for your used iPhone. Click the link below to get a quote, ship your phone, and get paid.
What's up, folks? How's it going? This is Waj. Hope you guys are all doing well. And today we're going to be doing a direct head-to-head camera comparison between the iPhone 11 Pro Max versus the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. We're taking a look at the front-facing side. They're both shooting at 4K resolutions at 30 FPS. The 11 Pro Max can actually shoot 60 frames per second on the front side, versus the Note 10 is actually limited to 30 frames per second at the moment based on my experience. Now we're going to be mostly concentrating on the rear-facing triple camera configuration that's built into both of these two smartphones. We're going to be taking a look at the 4K 60 FPS video capabilities as well as the stills capabilities and a whole bunch of different lighting scenarios and scenery to ultimately determine which camera is best. So let's get right into it. We're going to take a look at the brief specifications for the triple camera configuration on both platforms. That way you have some sort of sense in terms of what the camera specifications are before we get into the actual quality differences. So let's get right into it. Okay, so back from reviewing the footage off of the 11 Pro Max and the Note 10 Plus, and from a stills perspective, I think from sharpness, I don't think that the 11 Pro Max is delivering any more clarity that we don't see on the Note 10 Plus, so they're pretty much even in terms of that across three of the cameras. The other thing I found from an exposure perspective, the iPhone is a little bit more accurate, tends to expose things a little bit more evenly. I find that the photos on the Samsungs always are a little bit brighter and a little bit more bumped up in terms of the highlight information. It doesn't blow out any more details, and we do see a lot of good shadow details as a result of that, but the iPhone is definitely more accurate in terms of its metering system. And that may be due to the fact that it has a brand new neural engine built into the A13 chip, which is doing trillions upon trillions of calculations to shoot the best photo possible. Now, the portrait mode on the 11
11 Pro is also more realistic in terms of capturing that out of focus bokeh-like effect that you get from a large sensor camera with a portrait lens on it. So it looks a little bit better than the fake looking blur effect that we find on the Note 10 Plus. Now both of them are not as good as the Pixel 3a and Pixel 3 in my opinion in that portrait mode. It captures the best looking kind of out of focus elements on the smartphones based on our experience. All these smartphones obviously can't compare to a real large sensor camera with a fast lens like what we're doing to shoot this video, but they come pretty close for most things. Now in terms of nighttime photography, we didn't get a chance to test out the night mode because it's not available at the point of shooting this video. It's going to come out in a few days, so we'll perhaps do another video on specifically that mode because we do have it in the Pixel 3 as well as the Note 10 Plus. But basically on the standard mode, if you do shoot in low light settings, I did come across that the iPhone renders out a little bit more detail in the highlight information. As you can see from this night shot example, we see more details in the signs in the background, as well as the little lights on the trees are less blown out and they have less lens flaring issues like we encounter on the Note 10 Plus, and there's less general noise I found in extreme lighting situations like this on the iPhone, both in terms of photos and videos. Now from a video perspective, I don't see a huge difference in terms of rendering out more detail from one video footage to the next in the exact same scenario. Interestingly, however, at a higher bitrate on the Samsung side, it typically is recording 4K at 60 FPS anywhere between 75 to 80 megabits per second, versus we're looking at 40 megabits per second around for the 11 Pro Max videos. That's mostly due to the algorithm and how it compresses a video on each platform because we're not seeing any more details in terms of color or any sharpness that's more apparent on the Samsung compared to the iPhone. One thing I did encounter, if you zoom in and use the telephoto lens on both platforms, there's more noise introduced, and it's obviously going to be a little bit more shakier because you are zoomed in, even though we have optical stabilization. And compared to the standard lens, I don't think it's as sharp as shooting with the standard lens in the telephoto mode on both platforms, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to shoot telephoto videos for most people out there unless you need to zoom in to a specific scenic perspective, but the footage is never going to look as good as the standard mode. And one thing I did really like about the triple camera configuration in video mode is the fact that if you shoot to the ultra wide lens, you get a really nice perspective in video mode, especially if you're walking. And since we have optical stabilization built in both cameras, they both do an excellent job of making the footage look really smooth. Now, couple this with a gimbal, this would be an awesome travel companion, or if you want to shoot some walking shots and things like that. Even handheld in the ultra wide mode is definitely a handy feature for videos and photos, and in my opinion, more worthwhile than the telephoto mode. I think if you're just going to do a telephoto, it's probably best to have a higher resolution on the standard camera and just digitally zoom in. I think you're going to find similar results. But I definitely love to hear your thoughts. In terms of which camera is best right now, I think video mode, definitely both of them are pretty much identical in most circumstances. In most cases, since the iPhone renders out a little bit more detail in low light photography, I think it has a little edge up there, but from every other perspective, these cameras are pretty much going to deliver the same performance based on our experience. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Definitely let me know which camera looks best to your specific eyes. And the other thing too is I want to give you guys a huge thank you for continuing to watch the channel, supporting us. And another thank you to our sponsor, Cell Cashier, that made this video possible. We're also going to have videos in the description down below for the battery life comparison test between these two, as well as some of our other content. So thanks again for watching. We'll see you later. Take care. Now, if you're looking for a simple and fast way to get rid of your used iPhone without dealing with eBay, Craigslist, stuff like that, check out sellcashier.com. For years, they've been purchasing iPhones from all the major US carriers. They currently only operate in the United States, but you can simply select what type of phone you have, select the memory capacity, as well as the overall condition of your phone, and you're going to get a competitive quote. And if you're happy with that, you can ship your iPhone directly to them and get paid. For more details, visit sellcashier.com. It's simple, fast, and secure.